Rosa's POV: he parked roughly and got out almost immediately. He wore his sunglasses again and walked inside without saying a word or even looking at another direction apart from his front. The guards cleared out of his way and began to arrange themselves as if they were going for an interview. I sat in the car dumbfounded. Throughout the drive, bad boy didn't talk to me at all and I was too tired and terrified to say something. And now he just left as if he came alone. I was badly injured and feeling much pain, so movement was really hard for me. As I turned to open the door, a young man opened it and took my hand. "Let me help you." I looked at his face and nodded. I thought it was going to be Leon, but it was a different face. A face I haven't seen before. The man helped me out and closed the door. He also helped me into the house. The living room was filled with men. Some that I've seen were there. Their gaze all turned to me. I felt embarrassed and I looked down. "Everyone, she's been found. You can now disperse and go back to your various duties." I looked up again and I saw Leon sitting down, looking pained. His face was damaged and his white skin was bloody. Oh no. I'm sure bad boy did that to him. He was in charge of my well-being, but I got missing. He's in this state because of me. He smiled a little when his gaze met mine and I smiled back. I'll make sure I sincerely apologize to him later. The man who was holding my hand turned towards the elevator with me. I entered. "A doctor would be with you soon." I nodded and the elevator closed. I began to shiver because my body was assimilating cold. I hugged myself and rubbed my palm softly on my skin, avoiding contact with the injured parts in order to make myself warm. The elevator opened and I sheepishly walked out like a chicken drenched by the rain. I located my room and pushed the door open. I heaved a sigh because the room was warmer. I gently sat on my bed and breathed in. It feels good to be back home, not in the midst of enemies. I looked at the time. It was still quite early. I managed to stand up and entered the bathroom, took a warm, careful shower and got into my bed. I remembered that I was on my period, so I stood up and walked to the laundry basket. I took my previous dress and checked the pocket. I brought out the reason why I got into trouble and sighed. I went back to the bathroom and arranged myself before coming back to bed again. I yawned and closed my eyes, then sighed again. I was really tired. Bad boy's POV: I hurried inside, totally ignoring the stare of uncertainty from my men. I entered my room and took a pack of cigarettes and my favorite beer, then entered the bathroom. I ran a cold bath and sat in. I began to drink, not minding that it was too early. The only thing on my mind was how to deal with Ron. How dare he touch what is not his? What the hell entered his skull? Damn. I hate him so much. But I'm not ready for him yet. I'll leave him for now. His cup is not yet full, but when he tends to cross my boundaries, I'll skin him alive and make a jacket out of him. And as for that stupid girl called Rosa, she has a lot of explaining to do. She has caused a lot and I don't want to even see her now. What exactly am I going to do with her? I don't want her to be a liability. I sat up and dropped the empty bottle on a table, then took a stick of cigarette. I lighted it, but the smell irritated me for the first time, so I just quenched it and dropped it in the ashtray. Rosa's POV. I turned around and watched as the young man who helped me earlier entered with another young man. I sat up and watched as the new guy dropped a suitcase. "Guy, hello. I'm Yoon Soo and you're Rosa, right?" I nodded and he smiled. "Yoon Soo, okay, I'm a doctor and I'm here to help you get better." I smiled as he sat down beside me and brought out his stethoscope. He did all those stuff doctors do, then he brought out bandages and other first aid materials. He cleaned the surface of my wounds using a cotton wool and a liquid substance. After a while, he packed all his equipment into his suitcase and brought out 2 tiny bags. "Yoon Soo, here, take this pills every morning and night after your meals. They're going to help you treat any infection you might have gotten through any means." "Thanks, sir." "Yoon Soo, just call me Opa," he winked. "Thanks, Opa," I smiled as he smiled and closed his suitcase. "Yoon Soo, I'll be on my way now." Get well soon, Rosa, and eat well too. I smiled and laid down. I dropped the drugs on the bedside table. I'll bring food for you now. He left and closed the door behind him. I wonder why bad boys men are all cute. Doesn't he make use of ugly people? Bad boys POV. I wore a black vest and black shorts, then slipped into black slippers. I walked down the hallway and stopped when I got to Rosa's door. I wanted to go in and see her, but I couldn't. I just don't want to see her. I don't even want to think about her. Whenever I do, the pictures Ron sent showcase in my mind and I feel so bad. I braced up my steps and walked down the stairs. I met Max coming up with a tray of food and a drink. Where to? Max, to Rosa's room. I frowned. Why? Because she's hungry. I stared at the food and stared at his face. I wanted to collect it and give her myself because I don't trust Max when it comes to girls. He's the ladies' man. Even a granny can fall for his charm. He raised an eyebrow. Max, do you want to give her yourself? Because I know you're afraid of her falling for me. I puffed and walked past him. I don't wanna see her. What he said was true, but I didn't want him to know it was true. Actually, the reason Max is the most deadly man I've got is because of his ability to read minds. It's like a superpower that he has. He knows your next move even before you act on it. He said I'm in love with Rosa. That can't be true. I can't love. I haven't loved before and I don't even know what it feels like to be loved. I shoved my fingers into my hair and looked up. I saw the doctor attending to Leon. I chuckled and sat beside him. You look pathetic. He looked away. Yoon Soo, next time, when you're asked to look over bad boy's girl, you'll do it with diligence. I frowned. Me, she's not my girl. Leon, really? Thank God. I like that girl. The only reason I couldn't make a move was because I thought she was your girl. But I'm so glad she can be mine. My eyes darkened. Leon, watch your tongue. Yoon Soo muttered something that I didn't hear and the both of them laughed. I frowned again. Max came down and sat opposite me. That girl is really hungry. I bet she wasn't fed well at all. Did they even feed her? I highly doubt. Max, and bad boy, you should definitely go and see her. I said I don't want to see her. Max, it's not her fault she was raped. So why are you pouring the anger on her? I kept quiet and stared at him. I told her that you said you didn't want to see her and she nearly lost appetite. But I pecked her and said you were joking. That was when she regained appetite. You pecked my girl. Max, your girl. I stood up and they looked at me. Each one of them ready to defend himself just in case I decide to punch any one of them. They know my ways. When they get on my nerves too much, I punch their pretty faces, but this time I don't feel like doing that. I went outside and entered my car, then drove out. Rosa, I woke up late in the evening. I was feeling stronger and better. Though I was surprised at the hours that I spent sleeping. Did Yoon Soo add sleeping pills to those drugs he gave me? I stood by the window and inhaled the evening breeze. I looked down and saw bad boy coming out of his car. I sighed and went to stand by the door. I know he's going to go straight to his room, so I'll wait for him here. After a while, I heard footsteps coming closer. I closed my door partially and peeked through the little space remaining. He paused when he got to my door, sighed, then walked forward to his own room. It seems he really doesn't want to see me. I pouted and opened my door, then came out. He was about to open his door. Bad boy, he looked at my direction. We kept staring at each other with none of us saying a word. Finally, his eyes went down from my own eyes and I looked away when I felt tears forming. Bad boy, Rosa. I walked and stood in front of him. Why don't you want to see me? He stood straight and crossed his arms. Bad boy, I just felt like being on my own. Why? He didn't answer. If you're angry with me, just tell me. I'm not angry with, yes you are. You're angry with me, but you don't even know the reason. My tears fell, but I didn't bother to wipe them off. Why are you making this hard for me? I'm the one who got kidnapped and beaten up. I'm the one who almost got killed because they think that I'm your stupid lover and they want to get to you through me. I'm the one who is the prey here, over something that I have no hand in. Yet you're angry with me. Why are you so stupid? My face was already soaked in tears and I couldn't feel my skin turning red. Bad boy just stared at me like I was a ghost. I felt irritated by his stare and I turned abruptly to go. I felt his grip on my wrist and a force pulled me over and I found myself hugging him. His right hand was over my back and my head was resting on his chest. His left hand lifted my face up and wiped my tears. Bad boy, I'm sorry. I'm at fault. Ron made you cry and I'm also making you cry, it means I'm not different from him. I sulked and looked away. He chuckled and used his second hand to wipe my tears too. Bad boy, crying pretty girls are ugly. I hit his chest and he laughed and opened his door. He pulled me in. Bad boy, come and tell me what exactly happened. He sat on the bed and made me sit on his legs. I hugged him and he smoothed my hair. Bad boy, why did you allow Ron have access to you? I don't understand. I mean, why did you allow Ron have his way with you? You should have kicked his loins. He took what doesn't belong to him. I looked up and saw jealousy. Wait, bad boy thought Ron had his way with me. Ron didn't do that. He couldn't. Something stopped him. Bad boy, something did. What? Tell me what I was that I was, just forget it. Bad boy, but how did he get these pictures? He brought his phone and showed me 3 pictures. I gasped and covered my mouth. Me, it's editing. He didn't do anything to me. The pictures are fake. Bad boy, are you sure? Should I check? I pushed him and he fell on the bed. Me, you're crazy. He laughed and sat up again. Bad boy, I'm just glad he didn't touch you. I'm free with you now. Wait, you were angry because of that? Were you jealous? Bad boy, let's not go there. I crossed my arms and glared at him. He cracked me. Now tell me how you got taken and everything else that happened. I sighed and told him everything that he needed to know. Bad boy, so are you having cramps? Me, no, and don't ask me such a question again. Bad boy, okay mom. But next time, don't go out alone. Me, okay, I promise. Bad boy, all these wouldn't have happened if I was around. But I'm going to be free now. How about we leave this environment for a while and go to somewhere safer and normal? Me, we? You mean you and I? Or with your men? Bad boy, just you and I. Me, are you sure it's gonna be safe? He nodded. Me, okay. Let's give it a try. I smiled and he smirked and took his phone. Bad boy, excuse me please. I stood up and sat down on the bed. He went outside the room and closed the door. Bad boy's POV. I stood outside and waited for Max, who texted me to come out. He came after 2 minutes. Max, are you guys good now? Me, yeah Max, okay, that's all I wanted to hear. Me, we'll be leaving soon. Max, where to? Me, I don't know yet. But I need to take her away from this environment for a while. Max, can you teach her some skills while you guys are away? Me, skills? Max, yes. Like how to handle a gun, how to load a gun with bullets. You know, all those stuff. Also some karate skills. Me, why? Max, so she can defend herself while you're away. Or, so she could be your partner in crime. She won't be a liability. Me, makes sense. He tapped my shoulder. Max, and if you are able to feel normal, without any extra new feeling, then you're not in love with her. Good luck. He turned and walked away. Me, crazy. I opened the door and entered. Rosa was lying on the bed and playing with a pillow. Me, hey Rosa. Do you want to know how to shoot a gun? She stood up abruptly. Rosa, what will happen next? Plus I watch out for the next part.